That, as you can see here is my bind off. I continued working the hatch stitch, turning the corner just like that, those 10 stitch pattern blankets, and I bound off with the hatch stitch to join in here. So I'll show you that too. So for the wrap and turn, we're going to keep in pattern. So the hatch stitch begins just the way it began before. We're going to purl the first one, knit the 2 next stitches, purl the next one, sorry, and then we are going to wrap and turn the next one. So I'll bring the yarn to the front, I take the stitch off, pass behind it, and that's it. Now I'll go back the same way, and don't worry that those wraps we won't pick up, they will stay there, there's no problem that it will create kind of a bump. In this case it's not a problem, sometimes it is, so we have to, most times it is actually, then we have to catch the wraps, but in this case there's no problem. We're doing the hatch just as before. Oops. Behind the pin, always. Always behind the pin. Right. Then we need. Okay, so we did our first wrap and turn. Now we're going back the same way with the hatch. Purl one, knit the next 2 stitches, oops, sorry about that. And now we won't make this one, we are going to bring the yarn here and wrap and turn the 4th pack. So now we go back with the hatch again, so skip one, knit the next one, bring it over the skipped stitch, wrap, need to skip a stitch over or pass the yarn over. Bring the yarn over. Behind the pin, and on the next peg pull it a little bit if yours get like mine. Knit the next one. Now one more time. We are knitting, purling the first one. Knitting the next stitch, and this time we won't knit this one, we are just going to take it off and wrap and turn. You see, we are always taking one, wrapping one before. Now I will just knit this one because that's what we were going to do. Sorry. And knit this one. Now we purl this one. And we wrap and turn the next. And just knit. Okay, wrap and turn done. As you can see, we have more fabric in here now. And now we're going to do the bind off with the edge. You're gonna purl the first stitch as usual. Then for the next stitch, we got to pick up the wrap. If you think it's easier, you can pick up in front of it, but I'm showing how to pick up behind because it's neater that way. Place both the wrap and the stitch back on the peg and knit both of them together. I'll show you closer so that you can find the wrap easier. Here's our wrap. As you can see, I'm picking the stitch, bringing the wrap up to the peg, and placing the stitch back on the peg. Then I'm going to wrap the peg again and knit both the wrap and the stitch together. Another wrap. On the pin, on the peg. And this time we're going to purl. Now here is our last wrap. One stitch before, one stitch after the hatch edge. I'm going to knit the two together again. Now I'm going to put this one over the last hatch edge stitch and knit it off. Now we have to close the gap. And that's our first decrease. Now we follow as the second row of the hatch stitch. Skip one, knit one, wrap the peg, knit the skipped stitch over both wraps and bring the wrap back to the peg and knit the last gap. Now we are going to do the first row again. One purl, knit the next two, purl, knit one more, bring the stitch over and knit it off, biting off another stitch. So now close the gap and repeat the 2 rows of the head stitch until you bound off all the stitches on your loom. Now we got to the point where the next stitch is part of the edge of the other side, so it's a purl stitch. Here's where we're going to knit two together, making a decrease, and then we keep as before, bringing the stitch over the purl stitch and repeating the edge. Now we can cut off the yarn and put the last 4 stitches on waste yarn. This way the join between the end of the hatch bind off with the hatch edge in the other side of the piece is going to be less visible than if we just bind it off those 4 stitches as usual. And that's our hatch edge with the turning corner.